night, I hear him talk, the coldest story ever told, somewhere far along this road.
Hello, welcome to Hatty Waiver Wire Guru. This is the third installment of Off Season. Looking forward to the regular season to start up. We're starting to gear up, add more articles, and really just starting to dig into fantasy football. Definitely getting excited, feeling the juice come back into the bones, and ready to win another championship. Usually right about now, what I'm looking for my drafts are those players I'm going to target in later rounds, talking about like the 7th to 10th round, or those guys I'm just, who am I going to pick with my last pick? I mean, most people are really focused on their first picks, which they should be, but because I know everybody in the football, offense, I got to look, deeper. And these are guys that, I'm using on bye weeks and things like that, which is really important because those bye week win-losses are huge. So I'm going to start talking you through some people I'm looking at. QBs, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. We'll go right through this. Okay, QBs. Again, I'm looking for a backup QB if I'm looking in the later rounds, the 7th to 10th round. The first quarterback I'm looking at is Trent Edwards. His value definitely goes up with Terrell Owens. Any quarterback that gets Terrell Owens has a much better year the next year. And he's got Lee Evans and Terrell Owens on either side. Then you got, Marshawn Lynch, who also has good hands around him. So this quarterback has a lot of opportunity, and I think is going to be a great backup quarterback for your fantasy football team. Next, is one of the best rookies from last year, Joe Flacco. I think he's developing. He took his team through a lot of playoffs, and he does have that potential to be a good backup QB for your team. Picking up new tight ends like LJ Smith, which he's all right. Derek Mason, always like him. Mark Clayton, guys like that he has around him. He's not bad. I would, again, he's a backup and someone you can pick up in the 9th or 10th round, I would think. Moving on to running back, this is a guy I've been pushing on you guys. Actually, I think he's getting a lot of press, so he might not wait for the 5th to 7th round. It's Cedric Benson. I think his attitude and mentality has really changed since he hit the Bengals. Really picked up a lot of steam at the end of the season last season. I think he's going to carry that into the new season. He's got a rookie behind him. That's okay. But I really think Cedric Benson would be a great pickup for your later round running back and can be a great backup to some of the guys you select in your first couple rounds. Next, this is my gamble pick, and I really want this guy to do well. He has potential to be a starter. You guys might laugh at this one, but it's Laurence Maroney. I do think you get Laurence Maroney later in your draft. I mean, almost 6th, 7th, 8th round for someone who potentially could be a starter. Remember, the injury he was working through is the same injury that Rashad Mendenhall had. That injury that will just take you out for the season, he tried to play through. So that is going to hurt you. That is going to make you sheepish at the line. It is going to hurt your production. And, if he needs to just get on it, and it can be a gamble for you, but it could pay off, and it's later round pick, so you can't hate me too much. Next is wide receivers that you can pick up in the later round. First, this is a guy we've talked about last season a lot. His name is Mike Walker. With Matt Jones and Dennis Northcutt leaving Jacksonville, this opens up a huge opportunity for Mike Walker as Torrey Holt comes in. I really think Mike Walker will be a great production and someone you can get in the way later rounds. I'm talking 8th, 9th, 10th round in your draft. So pick up Mike Walker in that later round draft. Great backup wide receiver. Next is someone I've been talking a little bit, if you guys are following me on Twitter, is Earl Bennett. With Cutler coming into town, people are going to be like, who the heck is Earl Bennett when you pick him up in the last round? Okay, but he is going to be one of the top 2 receivers on the Bears, and I think Cutler is really going to show you some production that you're going to like to see, so I would go ahead and grab Earl Bennett. And finally, in the tight ends, this guy I rep a lot during the year. I think he's a great backup tight end. His name is Visanthe Shiancoe out of the Vikings, and if we see some Brett Favre action, which I think we will, he's going to be a great tight end. Even if Brett Favre doesn't come into town, with people like Sage Rosenfels, I think, your tight end of Visanthe Shiancoe will be pretty darn good. Now, this guy, I'm hoping will go in later rounds, but I think, he's getting up on people's radars. It's Brent Celek of the Philadelphia Eagles. I really think Brent is solid. When I saw him playing last year, I was excited about this guy. When LJ Smith moved out, I really think you're going to see some good work between him and Donovan McNabb. So Brent Celek would be a tight end I would grab for your backup tight end. He could even probably be a starter. Okay, that's it. Check out our new website at hattywaiverwireguru.com. We've totally redone it. Also follow us on Twitter. Also, we have a draft guide. It's $5 if you want one. Just send me an email. It really helps with the site. So we do have that draft guide for you. Appreciate everybody. We're going to start hitting you with more articles and more videos. Thanks again.